Good afternoon. Thank you for attending. We're getting towards the end, and I guess I'll just say they saved the best for second to last. Anyway, so Allegiant Gold. We're a new company. We were spun out of Columbus Gold in January. We're focused in the western U.S. We have 14 gold projects there, 11 in Nevada. Columbus Gold has a minority interest in the Montaigne d'Or, which is in French Guiana. It's close to 5 million ounces gold. So we always had this property portfolio in Columbus Gold's hands, but we didn't feel they were getting any value because of the size of the deposit. So we felt the timing was right to spin them out, so we completed that plan of arrangement in January. Forward-looking statements. I will be making many. I'm very confident in the future of this company. I think we have one of the best exploration teams in the States. Andy Wallace has discovered 5 gold mines, and really what this one particular slide is indicating and why we all have to do it is because mineral exploration is inherently risky. But how do you mitigate that risk? And there's really 3 key things you want to think about. It's people, it's where the projects are located, and the projects themselves. So let's focus in on those 3 key things and keep them in mind as we go through this presentation. Place, people, and projects. I already said all of that. So 14 gold projects in the western US, 11 in Nevada. We have a very aggressive exploration program planned for this year. We plan to double resources at Eastside, which currently stand at 3/4 million ounces gold. We're looking to double that to 1.5 million ounces gold this year. And while that might seem like a stretch, I'm going to demonstrate how we plan to do that and why we don't think it is actually going to be that difficult. In addition, we have 9 other projects we plan to drill. These are high priority exploration projects, that were all identified by Andy Wallace, who I mentioned has a track record of success in Nevada. People. So we've got a great team here at the board and management level. I'm going to come back time and time again to Andy Wallace. He's been exploring in Nevada since the 70s. He's come up with 5 gold mine discoveries, and in the course of this year or the following, we hope he's going to have another new discovery for us here at Allegiant Gold. On the board level, we have the former CFO of Goldcorp and Newmont, Russell Ball. We have the past president of Eldorado. So we've been able to assemble this high caliber board really based on Andy and the places where we're exploring and the projects themselves. Nevada, I don't really need to say much more about it. It's one of the best jurisdictions in the world, not only from a political risk standpoint, but for its geological endowment. Last year it ranked 4th, this year it's 3rd. So if you're a senior mining company or a mid-tier mining company, if you already don't have operations in this state, you want to have them. This is a little bit more about Andy and his track record. You can see he's been behind a number of significant discoveries, a number of which are still in production today. So as I mentioned, it's, if you can bet on one thing for any of the companies here, it's bet on the people. Eastside is our flagship. This was another new discovery. It's not yet on Andy's list, but he made this discovery in 2011. This was a grassroots discovery, and that's how we make our discoveries. Our team is out there on the ground prospecting, taking soil samples or rock samples, maybe doing a little bit of geophysical work, trying to identify targets, and ultimately we drill them. So that's what we did here at Eastside. We're now at 721,000 ounces gold, but as I mentioned, we're looking to double it this year. In conjunction with looking to double the resources, we also plan to test 9 other projects, and that's where the excitement really comes in. With Eastside, it's a bulk tonnage type target, so it's low-grade material. So any particular interval for that project may not excite the market. Where you're going to get your re-rating is when you continue to publish updated resources that's showing that resource base continues to grow. However, any one of these other 9 projects, any intercept of significance is a new discovery and could really create some excitement in the marketplace. Having been involved with a number of discovery opportunities, companies, I can tell you there's nothing like being part of a company that pulls out a great hole and ultimately results in some M&A. Eastside is large. It's just outside of Tonopah. It's over 67 square kilometers. The resource is at one deposit called the Original Zone, but there are other historical resources. There's past production. There's other targets. However, we feel our efforts this year are best directed towards looking to double the resources there. In years moving forward, we may look to convert some of those historical resources and see how they may fit into a future mine plan. You can see there's the Original Zone to the north. Very large project, infrastructure is ideal. You can drive to the project from Tonopah. You can see some of those historical resources to the south where you have a highway passing through. There's power to the north. So really this, it is our flagship. It's big. We feel it can get much bigger. This is really the key slide for us. This is a cross-section of the original zone. This is showing the 721,000 ounces gold, and it's important to note that this is pit constrained. So there is additional gold mineralization beyond that pit outline that isn't 43-101 compliant. This is the key of how we double resources here. You can see the area of drilling out to the west. We've completed 22 holes out there so far. We're looking to complete another 66, and that should get us to that 1.5 million mark. So if we're able to encounter gold out to the west, which we have been so far in those holes, we'll be able to redraw that pit outline and capture that gold mineralization, which isn't currently 43-101 compliant. So that gets to my point of how we're looking to double resources and why we don't think it's going to be that difficult to do so. That's a plan view. You can see our drilling out there to the west. I'm going to skip through Bolo. Bolo was a project we drilled earlier on in the year. It did return some fantastic intercepts. There are many more untested targets to drill at Bolo. We'll get back to that this year. But what I really want to focus in on here is some of the other projects we plan to drill. So as I mentioned, east side, let's double the resources. Let's continue to grow the resource base. But where the real excitement's going to come for us is drill testing these 9 other projects. And I think it's important to note once again that these are new prospecting discoveries. These are not old recycling projects that have been dusted off from cycle to cycle. These are new targets identified by one of the most experienced and successful exploration geologists in Nevada. Each one of these projects represents a discovery opportunity. We want to get out there and test each and every one of them. With a small program, all the targets have been delineated. They've all been handpicked by Andy. All of these projects require a first round of drilling, 6 to 12 holes per project to determine which one we want to keep, which one may have a new discovery, and which ones we want to let go. And that's really important when it comes to mineral exploration. You tend to get narrowed in your focus when you have a project, a flagship like we do with Eastside. It looks great, you're adding resources, it can get bigger. But what about your other projects? You don't know what else you might have. So let's do them justice. Let's carry out a drill program on each one. Maybe one of these projects is better than Eastside. Let's find out. With that in mind, we have completed drilling at Eastside. We've completed 22 holes. We've reported 10. There's 12 more to come, which will be out shortly. In the meantime, we've paused that program. We have a bulldozer right now at North Brown. That's the property, the second property listed there. We have a bulldozer creating roads and drill pads. We're looking to start drilling there in June. This is our highest priority exploration target. When we asked Andy to rank the 14 projects as to what he thought had the best chances for new discovery or what he was most excited about, he settled on North Brown. And with most exploration geologists, it's like asking them who their favorite child is. But for Andy, this was easy. North Brown was the highest priority target. It's high-grade gold in outcrop. This was a new prospecting discovery. It's in a Carlin environment. So we're going to get out there and test it in June. If we have success, I don't care whether you're in a bull or a bear market. If you have a new discovery, you're going to get rewarded for it. You can see our drilling plans there. We've completed those 22 holes. We're getting on to North Brown next month. Getting to our valuation currently, we feel we're pretty fairly valued at the moment. I might even say undervalued. We trade at about a third to a half of our peers, and that's only based on our in-pit constrained ounces. There's nothing for the other gold mineralization, the historical resources, the past production, or the 9 other projects, just the in-pit constrained ounces. So I think this is a really attractive value right now. You know, based on those 3 Ps, people, place, projects, we've attracted a lot of attention for a company that's only been trading for a few months. You can see the list of people that follow us or have been providing commentary. Many of them are in the room today. You know, stop by and ask them what they think of Allegiant, particularly Andy Wallace, the CEO. And really, I'm going to leave it there. The 3 key things, people, place, projects. You're betting on a team. You're always betting on a team in junior exploration, and there's no better team than what we've assembled at Allegiant Gold. Thank you.